Hello. How goes it? Yes, we're having a camera-free evening this evening. It's not like the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, though. Most people get blankets. I've seen some of the pictures. I've got a friend that lives in Canada. She's in Thunder Bay. And she was in Ottawa originally, and the snow they get there. Jesus. Hey now, no, we need a camera. That's a shame. You're going to be disappointed then. Because, no. I can't sleep. Sleep? I mean, I can't sleep, but that's not what we're talking about right now. I can't, comfortably sit this evening in a wow, I can't speak either. I can't sit comfortably this evening in a fashion that would be like okay on a camera. I don't mean I'm literally, I don't know, OnlyFans worthy or anything. It's just like you've got to be reclined, and it's just not a flat or an angle when you're reclined with a camera in your face. It just doesn't. No. So that's not happening. Sorry about the chat if I forgot your stream. Not a problem. I can easily just not hop into the chat. It's okay. I will hop into the chat after stream though. So without further ado, I shall swap onto the gaming screen. But do you not appreciate my little background that I've put on with my little person and the cup of tea or anything? I think it's class. It's great. Wonderful. Right, anyway. Very cute. Yes, it is. It's a fucking adorable balls. Thank you. I was like, I'll make it special. Right. I was trying to hate everything about you right now, but regrettably, you're right. It's adorable. Yeah, thank you. I put in effort. I even put some new sound, the sound alerts. I even put some new free ones on there. So you don't have to spend bits to use them. Because I'm just fucking nice like that. Oh god, I'm nearly dead. Why am I nearly dead? What's going on? Oh yeah, I fought that guy. It's almost as cute as me. No, it's not possible. Not possible. Right, we fought a big motherfucker here. I was just about to ask a really stupid question. I was going to be like, do we need life? Of course we do. Of course we need life. Because I can't play this game for shit. Right. That one? That one. No. That one. Not that one. Nope, still not that one. You're right. My red pants went on cute. So it does? It does? What am I... Oh...
Ragnarok will not bring back what you have lost any more than killing me.
I feel like that's
for enlightened platitudes
a perfect foreshadowing of what the rest of the gameplay. Excuse you, young lady. She's ancient, I know. But I feel like that was a really good example of how this game's going to go. All you've got to do is press one button. Continues to press the wrong button the entire time. Oy. Woo! That camera's moving rather quickly, innit? But yes, I'm pretty sure there's a sound alert that Ace would like. Hang on. I'll open the doodah. See if I can play it. Alerts. There it is. Hang on. Will it let me do it?
Why?
And then we have... Oh, that was loud. Was that really loud for you guys? That needs turning down. So yeah, there's new stuffs. Yay! Okay, sorry. I'll stop. Right. Go! It's like, this is not why we're here. You're just on my phone, so no, not really. Oh, good. As long as it wasn't too loud. It blasted my eardrum off, but I don't mind that. That's fine. Why is the camera sensitivity so much? Ah. Nope. Oh, okay, fine. Be like that.
Let's go.
Oh, shush. So, how's everybody? I know Ace has been moving probably copious amounts of snow. How's everyone's Sunday been? Other than cold, I feel like everybody in chat right now could easily say cold is how their Sunday has been. Because even I can say that. Because it's fucking freezing. Yeah, hello. No? Okay, fine. Oh, shit. My. The wife and kid are still sick. Oh, they're not any better. I was hoping that was going to pass quickly. Like hoping for all the news that was going to pass quickly. Pool buggers. Are you starting to feel a bit sickly yet, or so far are you still avoiding it? Touch wood, no jinxing. Say that way. Nope. Okay. I knew that. That way. Oh. Gotta make me work for it. Kind of rude. I've been avoiding like Neo from the Matrix. Okay. Oh, nope. Oh. Been doing all the preemptive measures, I know. Ah, do you have like face masks and disinfectant spray and such? Dettol spray, very handy. You know, if you just get the virus drunk, it won't know how to do its job. That's fair. That is fair. I feel like that's how most of Ireland stays, like, reasonably virus-free. Fuck face masks and spray. I wouldn't advise you to do that, but each to their own. It's not the kind of protection it's meant to provide. maybe when it was there, I'd be like, "Hmm? Oh no, I can just jump that." Okay, I knew that. Shut up. Oof. Okay, maybe that would be a bad idea. Might burn. That was what I was thinking. Like, that could end up... You could end up with some spicy meatballs. Know what I'm saying? So, like, don't fuck them. But, no. We don't need them. Fair. That is fair. Ooh, what does that button do? Ah!
Well, that did it.
Fuck yeah, it did. Do not fornicate with the spray. Oh, wrong way. One more for good luck. Oh, that may have been too far. I'm gonna go this side. Yeet. Nope, gonna go over here first because that kind of looks like something that I should be doing after I've done this. Could be wrong completely. We'll find out, really, I suppose. La 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 la. Nope, can't go that way. Fuck. Meow. Oh. You motherfucker. Okay. La 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 la. Boop. Ooh, shiny. Ooh, shiny. Yeet. Ooh. Okay. What have you got going on tonight, Mr. Maxwell? Can I jump down here now? Yay! Not much. Just chilling.
Do
That is
not
fair.
tell me to kill again.
What?
I killed to protect my son, to aid my friends. But I will be no one's monster. Never again.
You don't get to make that choice. Not with the debt you owe me.
I am not here for debts. I would always have helped you.
Not streaming
So
my throat
much
hurts.
has
Oh
been
dear.
taken from me, and I'm just supposed to let it all go?
Freya.
Enough.
Be like Elsa. Curious. Did you do the art for your panda, Avi, and the background? No, I did not. I have, in the About Me section of my Twitch account, I have tagged the lady that did the emotes. She, like, custom colours. She does, like, complete custom emotes, but these ones were, she has, like, set packs with certain designs. And you can have the colours of them custom, so the head, the skin, the hair, and the eyes.
Those doors up ahead.
The background was from someone called Google and Images. Good old Google. And I tweaked it in the settings, so like I reduced the opacity and contrast and whatnot. Look at the mushroom. Hello. And the chickens. Okay. Can I destroy them with fire yet? Can I? Fuck. Okay, good talk. But I literally just typed lo-fi rooms into Google Images. Oh, this is very Festival of Colour, isn't it? I like it. I'm gonna die.
There.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
I feel the source of the magic keeping me in Midgard.
I feel the
What is
source
this
of my
place?
anxiety.
I was born here.
I mean, it's gorgeous, but like, I'm gonna die. Oh, it's cutscene. I'm definitely gonna die.
Hold on. Something's not right. Opinbera.
Of course, something's not right. Why would something be right?
World tree roots. Bound in Odin's damn knots. That's how he did it. Come on!
Ah! I mean, oh no! Oh my goodness!
Creature! It belongs to Odin?
Bollocks!
No.
Fuck! Where is my axe?
Yggdrasil's
Woo.
roots, wherever they are. Bastard was counting on it. Good! Keep at it!
What is the dodge button again? Not that.
Shield! Use it!
Okay, sorry. About that.
I need to get to those roots. That's it! Don't relent!
It's easy for you to say, lady. Oh shit!
Don't just stand there! Move!
I swear to God. I'm not just standing here. I'm getting my butt kicked.
You have its attention now! Don't lose it!
I don't think I can lose its attention, to be honest. It seems
Won't let it hide in the
it
road
seems
there.
pretty cut my trigger already. You need to reset them. Ooh. Look at me. Oh shit, ah!
Use your legs, not your shield!
Reset deaths.
Still in the way! I need to
Fucking
get to
woman,
those
shut
roots.
the fuck up. Swear to God. Oh no, I'm dead. Is there a way to shut her the fuck up? It's there! I know, it's taking up my whole motherfucking screen. Thank you. Right, now I've got, I remember the shield. Very handy piece of, ah!
It's still in the way! I
Hey,
need to
shut
get to
the
those roots!
Fuck up!
I know!
Good God!
You are watching
Thank
a
you.
master at work.
Ah, fuck.
If I free the Vanaheim root, I can help you!
I can handle the creature. Focus on the root.
I'm trying!
How about you just stop fucking shouting at us? That'd be nice. Just saying. Have we thought about that? That'd be great. It's flicking fucking death at me.
That is not helpful.
Then do a better job distracting it.
Fuck you, bitch. Jesus.
I have it.
In that case,
You think?
Hurry!
Oh, yes, yes, because she was doing it this entire time. Thank you. I mean, I'll do it. I think she's just cleaned out its sinuses.
Vanaheim, yes, but there are more. She will guard them with her
Oh, yay, full health. Thank you, appreciate it. Ooh. Oh my goodness, it has fucking laser beams. Excuse me? Oh. Whee!
shield could be of use.
Oh, shut up. Oh yeah, yeah, it's really handy that was, wasn't it? Dickhead.
It attacks
Nope.
through realm tears.
I see it.
Oh. Going to die.
My sigils can amplify your attacks.
Haha. Woman, swear God. See, this is why we read the screen, people.
Bring it down.
Hey, Vector, how you doing? Excuse me? The fuck was that?
Interrupt it. Quickly.
Jesus! Oh no. Oh, blocked it! Yay! What are you doing? What are you doing? Where are you going? Where are you doing? Motherfucker! Oh, balls. Hooray!
For my sigils.
Nope, not like that. Oh, for the love of... Nope. That's shit.
Yes, it's working.
It is marked out great.
Yes, be ready for anything.
About that. Oh, God.
Shield strike its tail.
I promise I will interact with chat momentarily. I am just trying not to die. Whoop. Whoa. Reload. Ow. Ow. Ha! Go fuck yourself, needle.
Charging an attack. Stop it.
Woo! Alright, well. Nope. I don't want your vomit. Oh, God. What am I going to do? Oh. Damn. Oh, no, 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 no.
It's weak. It won't last much longer.
Neither will I.
It's opening its stomach again. Get ready.
My God. Oh, nope, nope. Right to the face, that one.
Not your shield.
Fuck off. Nope, that went well. Nope. Will you please desist on hitting me in the face?
That powerful. I've shot a sigil into its stomach. You know what to do.
Right, thank you.
That did it. It's going back in.
We will not let it.
We won't?
I have to break his hold on me, and you are in the way. That's the ripple.
Oh. That'll do it. Yeah, hi Vector!
You did it! You did it! I knew you would! I just knew you would!
Thanks. How are you doing? I'm doing well, thank you. I hope you are doing good. Nothing much. Been to work today, but I got sick, so now I'm just chilling. Oh my goodness, everybody's getting sick. Hot tea, sleep, and some medication, and I'll be good. Yeah. Come on, girly. I mean, I've got a massive axe. Surely I can just, like, you know, chop chop. Do you feel better?
I got it.
Now, don't do anything silly. Come on now. We're all friends here.
Is it done?
It's over.
Yay, I think.
It's really over.
And now that you have what you seek,
I suppose this is the point
Oh,
where I'll
God.
forgive you
Well,
or I'll kill you.
have you decided?
Oh, be nice. It was a misunderstanding. Sort of. If you squint.
To be honest, don't think I can do either.
I mean, as long as you can't kill us, that's good.
There's still a part
That would be
of
nice.
me that is so angry. And it'll always be. It'll always be angry. But no. You are not the one who needs to die.
Yay! Friends.
I do see that. Look. Everything that's happened between us.
No need to explain. Not to me. Not for that.
No. Or at least not yet. I don't think
I
they
do
get
not
married.
regret
But
saving your life.
no, that is Freya.
But the choice between life and death should have been yours to make. I should not have robbed you of that choice.
I mean, Odin did. There will be ads in about 15 seconds. I will pause the game. And I'll swap onto the just chatting screen, which is basically me talking shit with my little icon looking adorable. And freeze frame. And then we go doot. And where's the button? There's a button. Hello there. Lovely, comfy, cozy. I wish I did have a cup of tea. That'd be nice. Where's ads? I do not see ads. They should be starting any second. It normally tells me like ads are starting. There you go. Ta-da! Are you still not getting them? I was going to say you should be getting them. It says to me that ad break ends in 2 minutes and 30 something seconds. And if it's fibbing and it's not going to give you ads when I tell it to give you ads, then I don't know what to do, because that's the only way I know that there's ads. Oh. Oh well. You just get to enjoy a little bit of smooth music. And me? Less smooth. It doesn't give me ads either. Might have something to do with Nitro. Well, if you have Nitro, then yeah, you just won't get ads at all. No, I'm thinking Turbo, not Nitro. Is that what you meant to? This is a good point. Vector don't have the shiny bubbly stuff. I don't know how to explain that one. But according to my screen, ad break ends in 1 minute 11 seconds. So, I don't know, man. I just work here. This is very true. As long as everything works out, we're good. Oh my goodness, this cold's absolutely killing my back. So is this chair, but not near there. It's weird because like 6 years I've had this injury. And only this year am I really noticing that the cold absolutely fucks me over. It's very unpleasant. I always used to get a little bit like in the cold anyway, but that's mainly because I didn't want to set my neck. Because if I slip over, I've got to go get checked out in hospital to make sure I've not done any further damage. But like, I don't know. It's just the pain increase. I just sound like a proper old woman now. It's like, the pain increase. Right. The ads are over, according to my screen. If you do get any ads, Vector, if you let us know, I will pause. But we will get back to it. Okay. Let's pick up the goodies. Amulet is a unique item with expandable slots for enhancements. The amulet can be upgraded to unlock more slots. Thanks. Ooh, okay. Midgard Endurance. Cooldown bite. Oh. Okay. Ow. That was my hip. God, I am getting old. Ugh. Put me down. Blades. What's new on the blades? Woo! Oh. Oh. Oh, I like that. Yes. So we will equip this. We will upgrade this. And we'll be happy. Have I got any heavy runes? No, of course not. Don't be silly. Yes. Ooh. What's this one do? A shield fit for staying mobile and charging up. Huh. Defense 40, Vitality 8, Defense 55, Runic 11. It's got better defense. Woo! Trophy! I mean, I need the Vitality, but I can potentially get the Vitality somewhere else. Shield attachments. Ooh, I see Restoration. What does luck increase again? I can't remember. Oh, thank you. Gain additional rewards and activate chance ability more often. I'm going for life. Relic. You can put that away now. Oh, a glaive. Am I missing something here? Grants a bonus to melee damage for short duration. Grants a burst of rage and applies stun to nearby enemies. Throw a Bifrost chakram that swerves into enemies. Ew. Upgrade. Increase the amount of rage gained. Upgrades increase the number of chakrams thrown. Should we give this a try? I'm going to give it a try. Why the frick not? Woo, another trophy!
Myself again. I suppose it's time to face my brother.
And after that?
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've had a choice.
Ooh.
Let me live with that for a moment.
Just gonna leave that there then? Yeah? Okay. Let's go, lady.
We can take this way back to the camp. I can help with the vines.
Ah. Aim.
Now embed your blades into the glowing vines and light it.
Skadoosh.
Your brother seemed open to your return.
Oh, I'm sure he'd love nothing more than for everything to go back to how it was, leaving the responsibilities of leadership to me.
I mean, I feel like anyone in their right mind would prefer to not be in charge of some serious shit like that. I say in the right mind, it depends really. Nice to be trusted, maybe? Why is there a throwable? Oh. Hit him with a rock! Shoot sigil arrows at burning or frosted enemies to trigger an elemental explosion. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Oh dear, oh dear.
Watch out!
Oh shit, the bed.
On your left!
Well, if these are all just fucking.
Enemies to your left!
Yes, I can see that. Up. I can't say shit.
Alka! Shield strike! Now!
No. Only because I forgot. Oh! I just punched her to. Ah! Death. You're very irritating. I've been told that myself.
Send Odin my regards.
You use your anger effectively.
Well, you learn to use what you have.
I mean. Say like I'm some kind of badass warrior. Okay, but. That's really okay.
It's not as though I want to be
excuse
angry
me.
with Freyr. He's my brother. He was the most important person in the world to me for half my life.
So what's your favourite part of the game right now? I'm not sure really. I am looking forward to seeing how this is going to go with with Freya. Like none of it so far. I mean, I think we're still a little bit early on, but none of it so far has really jumped out and been like, wow. The first one, I say the first one, the last one, sorry, the one before this, I was absolutely hooked on from the instant I started playing it. This one, not as much. Not that I'm not enjoying it.
Those we saw earlier.
Have you played
Frost
this?
should make quick work
Have
of
you
their
played this?
poison.
Sorry. Am I missing something? For like 2 hours. And what did you think?
I think we'll need to adjust our strategy since there's more than one.
Yeah, that's
Let's
what
try
I'm
using a sigil.
thinking. Oh. Use a sigil. Okay.
Now the sigil should hold the frost, even in the axe's absence. Well done.
I forgot about it. Fair. At this point on the... Oh, it didn't hold it that fucking long. Motherfucker. At this point on the last one, I was a lot more, like, addicted to this game. What happened to your camera? Not today, Satan. I'm having an off day pain-wise. I had some really bad back spasms last night after I got off game. No, you're not Satan. It was just a phrase, my dear. You're not Satan at all. But I had some quite nasty back spasms when I got off streaming last night. So my solution is to sit as reclined as possible for this stream. And that's just not a very good camera angle. Like, no. Nobody needs to see that many chins, you know what I mean? Just no thank you. So we get to see the cute little emote, and I even put a little background on it so it looks all adorable. How are you, Nomad, anyway? I get extra chins in that angle.
Watch out, those are wisps. Powerful manifestations of runic magic.
Can we get rid of them, please?
They're impervious to physical attack. My arrows can disrupt their protection spell.
So fucking shoot them? Jesus. What problem? Damn. So yes, anyway, how are you, my
Could I
dear?
ever think of this place as home again? After all that's happened.
I feel like I should be able to freeze that.
We don't have the equipment for this.
Oh, of course we don't. God damn. Sorry. Had to move the microphone. Yeet.
Wait. Skull and Hadi are in Vanaheim?
We learned the giants rescued them from Odin and brought them
No
here.
problem, my dear. Say hello for me.
The sunlight wakes the sleeping roots. See how they stretch to welcome the sun? Beautiful, no? A far cry from the sheets of Midgard snow I've grown accustomed to. The Eastern migration. It's just as I remember it. At least the whole realm hasn't fallen to predators and occupiers. I guess there's still something to be fought for here. Something to
it's
defend
pretty.
even after
Can't
so
deny
much
it. It's
damage
pretty.
has been done. Maybe that goes for Freyr, too.
Yeah.
Of all the songs popping in my head, really? That's the one we're going for? Okay. Well, I was going to be like, it makes a change from, and then the other song that's been stuck in my head for days, and now it's back in there. So, yay. I got to sleep, but have a nice dream, Panda. Not a problem. Thank you for popping in. It was nice to see you. I hope you sleep well. Okay. Oh. How do I kill that then? I'm going to assume with fire. Ooh. Sorry. Sorry. No? Leave me alone, maybe? Oh! I'm just going to run. Oh god, there's a big one. Nice cam. Thank
Kratos,
you.
I see something.
How's it going? No. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Without destroying the mother. It's a large bulbous thing. You can't miss it.
Barrel roll, Kratos, barrel roll!
I'm trying. Why didn't that work? Oh, that's why it didn't work. Did it break? No, it didn't break. I broke. I was in a lot of pain last night after stream. So for tonight's stream, I am in a reclined position, which isn't very favourable for a camera. It sounds really weird. It sounds like I'm fucking OnlyFans in it or something, but I'm not. I'm just reclined in a completely PG thing. And if it didn't sound questionable to you, then I am obviously more perverted than you, and deal with it.
What is this?
I don't know.
I'm at
But
least
giants definitely crafted it.
more comfortable.
There's two
I'm
wolves
still in
represented
pain,
here.
but I
Perhaps a
want to play
connection
this
to our
game with
friends
you
in the sky.
guys.
A
How are you
mystery
doing
for another
anyway?
time.
And also, I have been absolutely terrible and forgot to do these. Should be ashamed of myself. I got the kittens. Oh my goodness. Well, the images that I saw, they were absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I'm so glad you got the kittens.
持って仲間のノートをすべて見つけたの Yes, I did find all your friends' notes. あれ何そのノートトランシーバーが直せるのやったね I know, you can, wait, he can repair the transceiver? Yay! Yeah, Doc knows what he was doing, didn't he? Why didn't you ever go search for his...
Hi, Harold. How are you? I thank you for the look. I appreciate it. Sorry, I know you're streaming.
You're good people, I know.
Thank you for the look.
You're good enough.
Hi, Sirius.
Egio is...
Thank you.
I mean, he's got me a few times in Discord. That's okay.
I did my best to
Alright.
make it look adorable for you guys.
So, Dom, do you have a request, sir, for being number 500? We do everything. We...
How are you doing? I hope everybody's doing okay. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate you so much.
Ah, didn't get that one.
Run, bitch. Run. The cat hydra. Ooh, the cat hydra, you say?
You can do it! You can do it, Big Daddy! You got this! You got this! I'm sorry, you can do it! Oh god! Oh god! Okay, you can! You can! Oh, you god damn you! Son of a bitch! Oh, you...
We having fun there? Cat hydra. Oh, that's so cute. That's adorable. Oh, can't forget Mr. Maxwell. So you and Vector, they're just like, nope. You know what? Maxwell and Vector don't need no shout out. They are too epic to give clips today. People couldn't handle the awesomeness of the clips from these people. Not that the rest of yous aren't epic, I'm just trying to cover up my technical difficulties here. Moving on. Have I forgot anybody? I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. Did I give everybody the shouty? I think I did. Okay. Let's go. I am pretty awesome. Yes, you. Oh, what the fuck is this? Wait. What? One more. Who? Who? When? Where? Who? I missed one? Oh my goodness. Who did I miss? Definitely took that personally. I'm sorry. Oh no. That technical difficulty is not because I'm epically awesome. That's because karma was on my side. That was such a girly laugh, wasn't it? It's like, oh my goodness, how are you single? Right, what the fuck am I doing? Hit it. Nope. Damn. Shoot it and hit it. No. Like, are you single, darling? Many reasons, mostly trauma responses. And terrible taste and a love of the colour red. As Rafi would say. Where do I go? Up that way. Okay. Well, I'm that way? Did I come up this way? I mean, it leads me to the same place regardless, doesn't it? So. Yeet. And when I... Ew, wouldn't go near them. Try to keep away from myself. I mean, that is fair. That is fair. I mean, they're not all ew. Gay ones are great. No. I feel like it's just people that ew. It's not even necessarily a gender thing. I've went the complete wrong way. Like, I don't know, I'd say 70% of the humans I've ever interacted with, it's been like, ew. Notice I said 70% because all you guys are fucking awesome. Except maybe Ace. No, Ace is cool to be the dad. People are something. Yes, they are. Some of them are something special. Some of them are something that was scraped off the bottom of a shoe. Ooh, talking about public. Oh dear. This can be good or bad.
My sigils can break through their shields. They're defenseless now.
Yes, I can see that. Thank you, darling. I love how I turn into the exception on everyone's stream now. But it just popped as soon as I said, like, you're all awesome. Necro's voice appeared in the back of my head and he was like, except Ace, fuck that guy.
Incoming back here.
Ooh. Shoot him. Right, lock on. Thank you. Nope. Why the fuck were you just standing there, lady?
Enemies on
Like,
the left.
you have a job. Oh, yo, sneaky bastard. Or maybe they are stupid because they are in public. It is possible. To be stupid or not to be stupid. Depends on the location.
Bifrost at your back!
Ooh, nice. Ah! I mean... Whee! Sneak bastard. Woo! That's the other one. I heard you. I heard it go rawr.
Enemies on the left!
You'd think that'd be where you would actually want to be intelligent, civil, and show a sense of common logic. Don't be silly. Nobody gets views from common logic. I do. That's why I stayed home. Hi, Yuki! Ah! Go away. Swish, swish, swing, swing. Oh! Rude.
Last one.
Where? Who? When? Oh. You cheeky bastard. Home is my no-no square. Because people don't touch you there? You did get recordings done? Or did you keep farming in the... Oh, did you get recordings done or did you keep farming the game? Hi, Nomad! Welcome back! I didn't die. Yay! The crud has consumed me. I've spent a large amount the last couple of days. I heard you're still not well. I'm sorry about that. I was hoping it would pass quite quickly and that you should get better soon. I'm still hoping that will occur. Yeah, well, yeah, we know it's gonna happen. I need to record a couple of things yet. I need to do individual walk-on recordings. Because anyone that's a modder or VIP is going to have their own little walk-on. Like, automatic. Because Bearded's been showing us how to do stuff. In between, like, you know, hurling abuse at us. Where am I going? Oh, down there. So, I need to do that. Meant to say I've spent a large amount of the last couple of days in bed. Well, that's understandable, really.
So much has happened.
Like, if
since
you're
I last
ill,
saw Freyr.
especially if you and the
I'm not
baby are
even
ill
sure
as well.
where to begin.
What do you want from him?
I'm doing that
An
one
apology would
thing
be a
for you
start.
after supper. But right now, I
I
have kittens
want
sleeping
to
on me.
forgive
Oh,
him.
well, there you go. Kittens sleeping
I'd
on you
like
means
to
you're not
think
allowed to
he's
move ever.
changed.
It's a law.
He's
Until
all
they
I
wake
have
up,
left
not
now.
allowed to move.
Did you ever apologize?
Functioning
to
is
Demos?
hard right now. Oh, bless
It
you.
is difficult to seek forgiveness when you feel unworthy.
I do hope you get better soon, me dear. You and the baby. Evening. Did I miss something? Oh, yeah. East. Generally, when I get into VRC to record, one or more of my orbiters pops in on me, and then I end up drinking and bullshitting for the rest of the night. Yeah, okay, fair. Feel useless and lazy. Just doing dishes was an instant regret. I couldn't stand how dirty the kitchen got. Oh.
Now,
Well,
how
it's
to
not
get
because
across?
you're useless and lazy. You're poorly. You can't help being poorly.
My sigil arrow should
Hope
be
he
able
has
to carry
ruined
the
me.
fire across
Well,
the
I hope
river
he's
to
spoiling
reach
you
the
right now if
bramble.
you're not being well. And you're complaining? Maybe. What am I meant to do? Place a sigil on the river object. And the well, yeah, the brambles, I know that. But I can't reach them. Oh. Okay. 3. And do I have to fling the axe instead? Because I'm not reaching with this shit. Okay. He's got me in the mindset of what dirty actually is, and now it bugs me. Oh, okay, I get you. God damn it, Ace. Why'd you have to point out new things? Just leave people as they are. Right, we're not going that way. So, place sigils on river objects and brambles. They're larger and brighter when connected. But I can't reach the brambles. Or does it mean he's a horribly amazing person? I mean, at least there's the amazing bit, because I'm a snooty prick. Fair, he's also very honest and humble, evidently. Emphasis on the horrible part. Right, so, like, join that one to that one. Then that one. But I can't reach it. Oh! Yeah, okay. I got what it meant.
Even for the unworthy. My wife Faye taught me that.
Well, be glad you have a spouse to remember fondly.
Ari Petchelo, God. I mean, our husband was a dick, yes. Oh, yes. Very much so. I agree. Terrible business. Oh, I'm sorry. Eat rocks!
Enemies to your left!
Oh my goodness, he's a big fella. No, that one. Oh, not what I wanted. Ooh, double whammy. Nice. Whoop, not what I wanted. Oh, goodbye, friend of Hagrid. Sorry. Ooh, I've just nearly pulled my stream deck down. Jeez, that's crikey Moses. I know he loves me, though. Because if he doesn't, he knows I cook his food. Always trying to whip. Well, what can I say? I've got to keep up the reputation, you know. I have too many typical blonde moments. I need to at least try and have something a bit different. He's made me very happy for these past 4 years. Good. He should do. Me? Temper? I don't have a temper. What do you mean? I'm properly placid, me. It may be Lake Placid, giant crocodile placid, but it's placid.
There's no limit to the depths to which a soul can sink into darkness. Tricked me into marriage to spare
right.
my home and took
No
my
temper.
home just the same.
Yeah, no
Scattered
temper.
my people to the wind. Maybe it's time somebody drew the line.
Can my
Maybe it's
responses
time someone
sometimes
makes
be
Groa's prophecy come true.
heated?
I will not wish for war, Freya.
War is a terrible thing, Kratos. But some things are even worse. You know, if Atreus rushes to Ragnarok, you may not be able to stop him.
I will.
And if you fail?
I have prepared
dies.
him to survive without me, if he must.
Oh, we dies. Someone dies, okay?
Watch for the plants. They like me, but strangers not so much.
I see that.
What plant? Where is it? Oh, that plan. I mean, a warning before I jump up there would have been cool, but whatever, it's fine. Just let me get shot. I used to have a temper. Apparently it wears off with time. I mean, I suppose in some respects, yeah, I'm not as angry now as I used to be. I used to have a very quick temper. I think for the most part, I'm actually pretty chill now. If you piss us off, I'll tell you, but about 2 seconds later, I'll just be like, right, well, that conversation's over. Cup of tea? But I suppose it does depend. However, I also have PTSD, so I might not be the best person to think that one. Nope, nope, can't shoot that. Okay, well, go fuck yourself, uh-huh.
So what's next for you, if not preparing for war?
I do not know, but I will take no chances with Atreus.
Well, you may want to think fast, unless you want someone to make that choice for you.
Alright, I get it. I took your choice away from you. Calm down. Technically, I had no choice but to do that, because it was part of the game.
As I ever will be.
I have returned, people.
No. It really is you. You returned to us at last.
Yes.
Let's celebrate. You reclaim the throne. We'll rebuild. Me and you against the world. Huh? Just like the old days.
I'm not staying.
I don't understand.
Uh-oh.
You're here. Maybe together we can take back what's ours.
I only just got back what's mine. I still have work to do.
You've seen what's left of the realm, right? Do we really mean that little to you?
You question my loyalty? Vanaheim turned its back on me.
Oh, you still can't let go of that old fight.
It was my duty to save as many of our people as possible. My responsibility. One you didn't take seriously then, and from the looks of it, one you don't now.
You think this is a game to me?
Yeah.
We lost everything to that maniac you called husband. The man's family set me on fire. How did you expect me to react?
Like my brother! Like the boy that used to have my back no matter what! And who I always supported no matter how selfish his choices. I expected you to come and find me. That no matter how hurt or angry, you wouldn't abandon me when I needed you the most.
Freya, please.
That went well.
I thought you were dead. I've had to live lifetimes with those last awful words I said to you. Have any idea what that's like? Knowing that your own selfishness hurt the person that you cared about the most. Abandon you. Oh, Freya. I mourned you. Oh, I've missed you so much.
And are you, Ingrid?
Yes, very sad. Anyway.
But I won't bind myself to another realm when I finally have my freedom. I'll send help, though. And I will come back. I promise.
This hasn't been your home for a long time, has it?
I mean, not really.
Do what you gotta do.
All right, that's enough. Ain't y'all got nothing better to do than gawking at family sorting squabbles? Come on, you two. Not you.
Yeah, stay.
Got a few things to square with y'all.
Blue man has
First is you
spoken.
collecting your spare heads. Second is that sigil magic I smell on your bow. Reckon that's an idea I'll steal. How's about I set you up with some sonic mojo? Call it a trade.
Very well.
Third of all, if you ain't staying here, bears mentioning that Sindri and I find ourselves running a flop house for unemployed guys. If you're done freezing your backside off in Midgard, maybe come back with Beardo there. Check up on your old pal Tyr.
That's kind of you, Brock. I may do just that.
Well, all right then.
Ooh,
I'll meet
nice.
y'all back at the house. Unless you want me to fix anything up first.
Well, brother, care to meet our new allies? Or shall we depart?
Can I let the blue man upgrade
Suppose
my
that big
axe,
fella
please?
we're
Thank
traveling with
you.
might want to help me with a thing.
What is it?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time tinkering up and down the river delta. Once Odin's army came to town, I lit out of there faster than a tassel worm with its bottom ablaze. So frazzled, I accidentally left behind a few irreplaceables.
What? Irreplaceables?
Well, just one, really. An orb. I'd be mighty grateful if you would find it.
What is
Of course you
And
would.
if you come across any of my old, beautifully rusted armor pieces, I'll use the scrap to whip up something specially suited just for you.
What is the orb?
Just bring it back here.
I'm not
and you'll
sure
make
because I
me
never played
happy as
Borderlands yet.
sunbeam. Oh, and
She's-
don't
she's
forget to
something.
keep an eye out for my old armor. I'll fix it up for you, free of charge.
What sort of orb do you imagine we're looking for, brother?
I do not know.
Can I fix my ship, please? Thank you. It is her. Oh, cool.
How did a traveler come to follow my brother?
I was broken when he found me. The truth I pledged my life to
Lucky knob.
was a lie.
Stonecutter knob.
Lord Freyr,
Upgrade.
we ought to believe in.
That's Freyr, the Lord of Second Chances.
He saved
Doot,
gave me a
doodle, doot.
purpose,
Upgradable.
and I will gladly.
What's this? Strength and defense, strength and vitality. They're the ones we have on strength and cooldown. I think I'm gonna do strength and vitality, you know.
Lord Freyr found her half dead in the jungle.
11 and 13, 11 and 13.
Far north of here. We all told him she was beyond saving, but he never gave up.
Well, I'll upgrade these first, because priorities.
She's pure.
Also, I can play Borderlands with you. It's the same as Tiny Tina's. I know it's what I think. I've got some of the Borderlands because I'm sure I remember us talking about it when we played Tiny Tina's. I fucking love Tiny Tina's. And I'm pretty sure I went and got them, or I at least got one of them. But I would do that. I would play your game. Oh. I can't upgrade that. Oh, that's like already... Okay, never mind.
Need
Armor.
something special?
Ooh. What's this one? Luck and runic. Ah, I need vitality though. You seen how much I die? You want to take away vitality? You insane? Let's cool down. Runic and luck. Just gonna upgrade all that.
Damn! Am I good or what?
Very good.
Yes, wonderful. Need more hard silver. Doot doot. I have nothing to sell.
Ready
Really?
when you are.
Oh, superior resurrection stone. Yeah, jammy bastard.
And Lady Freya?
Sigil arrow deals increased status. Ooh. Runic potency. Using a health stone or rage stone refunds 2 runic arrows. Ooh. Sonic deals increased status. Enemies killed with a runic arrow explode. Ooh, that could be quite good. First full quiver deals increased damage. Melee attacks against an enemy that are stunned increase. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, made that one. Just have to equip
Make
it
up
now.
your mind?
Oh, be quiet. Right, so increased luck, increased defense, increases resistance to blind and dazed. Ooh. Well, I definitely want that one. So then should we go luck or blind and dazed? I feel like we should go luck. I'm going to go luck. I know I just asked a question and then continue to just do what I want. But welcome. This is what we do. Well, it's what I do. 'Cause I'm
You
an
make
asshole.
up your mind.
Will you be quiet? Okay.
Thank you.
What was it? What was it? Ooh, we can probably... so cooldowns on there, luck or defense. I'm gonna go with that one first. So, nope. Skills. Skills. Hold triangle while sprinting to activate Frost Awaken quickly. Ooh. That'll be good. What's this one? L1 and R2 to recall and then, I'll forget about it. Nope, not the pause. I'm crap at the pause. Heavy finisher attack with light attack combos. Deals high damage and frost and launches enemies. Ooh. That's good. Right. I use these more though, so I should probably focus on these. No. Nah. From attacks, sustain damage to power up the blade. Striking a grounded enemy with the grapple causes. Get that one. The attack options aren't really as good on these, I don't think. As much as I use them for their speed. You get a better weapon later, in my opinion. Oh. Well, I'll try and keep that in mind. Then I'm going to get this thing. Oh, I didn't check. No, no, I don't want that. I want to press the correct button if possible. Thank you. So, do I not get to do Freya's skills yet? Well, that's rude. Right. This way.
I remember where to look for a gateway. Follow me.
Well, you two seem to be getting on since completing your mission. Dare I hope this alliance has some staying power after all?
It seems to me we share a common enemy. Kratos,
Is he
you may not
shipping us?
accept that Ragnarok is inevitable, but you're smart enough to know Odin is a threat. Whatever comes next, our best chance of surviving it is to work together. Do you agree?
I do.
Then as to Brock's offer, you can imagine staying under the same roof as a couple former enemies? No further temptations towards terrible vengeance?
Not against you. Either of you. You have my word.
Woohoo! Freya's Alliance unlocks new combat equipment and a unique skill tree. Her use of both sonic and sigil arrows opens new options in combat and puzzles. Oh, now you let me have a look. Really? Damn it. Well, yeah, I knew that one. Whew. Aha. Right. Spawn vines. Spawn runic arrows. Deal whatever. Well, I need that, obviously. Ooh, Valkyrie. Much more aggressive in the battlefield, parrying and charging at the enemies more often. That would be very fucking helpful, because at the minute she just stands there like, you've got this, you big boy. But I'd like some help. Okay. So we're gonna have, according to this thing anyway, we're gonna have ads in about 5 minutes time. When that happens, oh, I've just got a massive dizzy spell. That's not ideal. When that happens, I want to go and make a cup of tea. What do you think we should put her in? Because it probably makes no difference right now. Agony's Promise. The Tattered Witch. Or the Warrior's Battle Dress. I like that one. I thought I'd like that one, but no. It doesn't seem to make a difference at the minute, so... Ah, okay. Which one did I make? Healthstone, no. Sonic Steel, no. That one. That one. Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry. Damn. So sigil amplification. Runic summons in cooldown greatly and decrease the statness applied by runic arrows. Okay. It's on tier 1 though. I'll just put that there. Fine. Stuff it. Okay. Oh, can we do this now? We can!
This lock is different from others you might know. You'll need an enchantment on your chisel to use it. Bruna. Go ahead. Carve the letter.
Huh.
Suna.
It's an incantation. Suna.
The elves in Freyr's camp mentioned a gate like this in Alfheim.
Okay, that's kind of
They're
cool.
on about some sacred light elf sanctum out past the barrens.
A trip to Alfheim.
That's pretty cool.
Well, we can decide at the gateway. This boat should get us there if we can clear those vines. Remember what to do? There's a fallen log
Yes,
in the
I
river.
do.
It has something on it I don't recognize.
How do I swap it? Ah. Oh, I see. Okay. Right, we have an
like
ad
sound
starting in about 30 seconds. So, I'll hop into the board. Hello, Joe. How are you? I'm just getting her ready because the ad is apparently due to start in at least the next 10 seconds. Ooh, excuse me, I needed that yawn. And I want to make a cup of tea. But I will leave you with some entertainment. Kinda ill, but conscious. Oh god, have you got the bug as well? Like that I'm gonna absolutely destroy your lungs and make you cough up every organ in your body bug. Oh. Plenty fluids. Like, I've never been so dehydrated, sorry, in my life. Plenty fluids. Hopefully you don't literally end up, like, sick, as in, like, vomiting as well. I managed to skip that one. I'm the only one out of the 5 of us that got infected that did skip that one, though. But, I mean, look at me. Do you think my stomach lets go of food? I don't think so. Okay, so. The cough isn't that bad. Just been ill for, like, a week now. Oh, yeah. It's fun. It's really fun like that. I've had COVID 3 times, and I would rather have COVID 3 times again than ever get that bug. Ever again in my life. But yeah, I'm gonna go make a cup of tea. I will leave you with some tunage on the BRB screen. And I'll not be long. Okay? Okay. Thanks, guys. Good evening. I got my tea. I also have that musical whiplash. It's good. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps everybody on their toes. What's gonna get played next? Good evening. Right. While I get settled.
Armor Rich, reverse hollow. A Charizard EX. Full art card. This is the second time I have pulled this card on stream.
He was rather happy with that. I'm no Pokemon card expert, but I'm going to say that was a bloody good one. Hello, Neon. How are you? Yeah, I assumed from the oh my goodness laugh.
I'm happy to see, and it's nice to see you actually in chat to you again.
Oh, it's nice to hear you.
Right. Time for this book face. Ow. Okay, that hit me.
It did hit you. Oh, what card did you pull? I'm doing alright, how are you? I am good, thank you. I'm glad you're doing well. Thank you for popping in. Nice to see you. I liked how your house and stuff went in Moria. It was very good. Really made us want to go and play it and do like Lord of the Rings Sims. But I was like, no, because I was seizing on the, I don't mean like as in having a seizure, I mean like muscle spasm seizing on the sofa to the point I thought I was going to be stuck on the sofa. So I was like, nope, I cannot go on Moria. I must go to bed. It's fun. My first go at building. It's good, isn't it? It's a little bit addictive though. Yeah, slippery slopes. Slippery slopes. 1 second. I'm sure you can hear me attempting to type there. Yes. Bed is always amazing though. It is. And
that's all. There's no more pain.
Hold me close.
No more struggle.
Right.
Hold me tight.
Everyone loves the vampire.
Don't stop all night long.
Oh dear. I say.
Something terrible's happened.
Oh no, something terrible has happened.
I love Astarion.
Who could have...
He's so sassy. It was a, excuse me? Terrapagus. XSIR. Ooh, very nice. I'm not going to pretend I know what that is. But I appreciate that it is the highest value and it's very, very good. Many thank yous. No, thank you. That was great. Oh, dear me. Worth about £70. Jesus. I wasn't a huge fan of him. But I don't think I'm the sort of person he's made to appeal for. Oh, no, 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 no. He is blatantly for those girls that have, like, you know, the daddy issues. Like, I can fix him. Shit going on. My personal favourite, Halson. Yes. Fabulous. 100%. That is the bear I would choose in the woods. I mean, I wouldn't choose him as a bear, though, because I found that really weird. But you get what I mean. You get what I mean. Anyway, moving on. Way, look, a game. Yay. What the fuck is that?
So it's true.
There's
Tears
a
really
floating monkey.
Aye. Not exactly shipshape. He sleeps in a broom closet now. But he's
Astarion is great
How
the more
did
you
you
actually
find
talk to him and follow the
Largely
story.
that's down to Atreus
Unlock the
having
person
figured out how
underneath.
to access
Won't
the
say
prophecies
more,
giants reserve for
but
their
give
own
it a go
kind.
one time.
We
Oh,
only learned
100%
them
agree.
ourselves after Thor and Odin came calling.
To your home? Is it still standing?
His character
Really?
story
But
is
all the
amazing.
violence was seemingly just a distraction to let Odin have a private
At
word
least
with
it's not the
Atreus.
masked
Odin was
TikTokers.
alone with your
Well,
Did he
it's
tell you what they spoke of?
Yes. He
Not
said
on here.
that Odin invited him to Asgard to help him find his answers.
The answers he's rushing into fate in search of. That's trouble.
I'm just waiting for Raffi to pop up out of nowhere and be like, Panda. Mass TikTokers and BookTok. Thoughts? Do you know whose backstory I would enjoy, like, learning about in Baldur's Gate? Boo! I want to know what Boo's backstory is.
Well, if you're ready to talk to him, the Mystic Gateway is ahead. If not, I have some unfinished business up this river I could use your help with.
Or we can follow
Fabulous.
up on that elven sanctum out in Alfine's desert.
If you want to continue exploring, we'll need to remove that log in the river.
I will say the crossover between Bike Talk and Book Talk is kind of scary. I feel
What
like we
is
have
this?
different
The crest
versions of
Skirnir.
scary.
Never quite as smart as he thought.
Yeah, da.
Good. We can explore the river now. And hopefully write some old
How did I
romance.
not see the giant red glowing chest? I should hope so. I mean, fair. Alright. A slight point. Right, do I know what to do with this yet? Hey, lady! Not that. Okay. I don't know what to do with that yet. Ooh. I'm gonna have some cake and a cup of tea. Oh, you jammy bugger. What kind of cake? Inquiring minds need to know. I have a honey and oat biscuit to go with my cup of tea. Ooh. Nice.
What is your unfinished business?
I left something behind, near the falls.
Your wedding site. Now, why do you want to be going by there?
To be free of the bonds of my marriage.
Ooh.
And to Asgard.
I will say...
I think you severed
oh
that
no,
a
my
long
TV's
time
gonna
ago.
turn off. Don't do
Not completely.
that.
Not enough.
One
Guide
second.
us.
Ugh. Right. I've stolen. Ugh. I will say with Ragnarok that I had an issue with was how they basically talk you through all the puzzles. I'm not really a fan of the Atreus parts. Yeah. They do seem to try and talk you through everything a lot more in this game. Like when I was fighting Nidhogg before, or however you would like to pronounce it, probably the correct way, because I certainly won't have done. The fact that she's just continuously, it's in front of you. The thing takes up my entire fucking TV screen. I know it's in front of me. There's nothing else in the fucking screen. But no, she asked me, it's in front of you. Why won't you hit it? Because I'm getting my fucking butt kicked. As soon as I'm off the floor, I will try and hit
My
it.
people settled this river many ages ago. Thousands traveled it on pilgrimage to the shrine of worship. But then the Aesir came.
Ah!
This is
I'm gonna shoot that thing. Well, I'm gonna hit it with a axe. As soon as I park my boat, your days are numbered, birdie. Why does that demon sound like it's on helium? I'm expecting to find, like, a Thumbelina of demons. Oh, there it is. That's what I sound like with the sore throat. Is there a parking bay anywhere? Are your dogs speaking? No. No, for once. No, when she speaks, she only speaks in howl. With occasional, like, a between the howls, but mainly just howl. Which is great first thing in the morning, you know. You wake up, you're groggy, because you're now at that age where you can't wake up nicely, and everything's just like, oh my god, it's morning. And then, through the silence, all you'll hear is, like, the loudest, oh, wow, 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 ever. Like that
Reavers,
scuttle seagull.
of course.
In The Little Mermaid. Right. Oh, I thought I wasn't going to have to fight in there. Yeah, thank you for that astute observation. Absolute fucking pain in the arse.
It's regaining strength.
Yes, yes. Sorry. Really, I've taken out two, and I am terrible. You're still messing about with that one? You're meant to be a god. I almost feel rude into... There she goes, proving my point. Do you know what it is? That's exactly what I was thinking. Oh, there's not going to be a face hugger jumps out of there, is there? Oh, hello, turtle. Nope. Panda's finally learning to use Kratos knives.
Yeah!
Oh. Okay, I was initially gonna feel bad about like disturbing that man singing, but it's kind of irritating now. And yes, I just assumed. Burn. No. What? How? How do I get into it? My goodness. Nope, can't reach that. Hang on then. Bollocks. Oh. Well, that's much further away. That was terrible. Okay. We go to boops. Part 1. Check. Right, so then we're gonna go to boops. To boops.
That brazier. Maybe it could help with those vines.
Now you tell me. Evidently, Yosti, some of us need them to be like, do you see that thing right in front of your face? That looks really helpful. That's helpful. Maybe you should use that.
Well done.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
Hello.
What's the procedure? Stay calm. Wait. Everybody,
I would normally go onto the chat screen. I'll go onto the chat screen. You ready? You ready? It's nothing flash. It's just more of this adorable emote. Welcome in, Exile Magpie. How was your stream? Thank you for the raid. Is it going to let us... Oh, it does not like your clips. I feel we need to make you more clips. So then it just has more to choose from. And if it doesn't use any of them, I'll beat it up. But how are you doing? How was your stream? Welcome in, everyone. I love this song. I will do my best not to sing along, I promise, but I love this song. Oh, you did? Very nice. Which Assassin's Creed? Like, literally the first one, or... Oh! I was thinking, I was like, you took a break from Hitman? Why? I gotcha. Hitman campaign. Did it turn out how you wanted it to? How you expected it? I'm just going to slurp some tea and then I'll put the game screen back on. I pinky promise. I'm not going to slurp tea in the microphone though, because no one wants to hear that. Honestly, I'm normally walking around the kitchen when this song's on, absolutely belting it out like I can actually hit a note. And, oh, I love this song so much. It's from a TV show called Daisy Jones and the Six. If you like this kind of music, I would 100% advise you to go and watch that show. It does have some potentially triggering things in it around like substance abuse, but love it. The music in it is absolutely amazing. Hitman World of Assassination is really good. Would recommend. I shall add it to the playlist. Well, to the to be played. I know what I mean. Very good indeed. Right, I have slurped the tea. I have listened to the song. Not gonna lie, I was like prolonging this because this song, I love it. So, let's get back to the game, huh? See that dude there is probably what I sound like in the kitchen when I'm belting out that song. Doing me little cooking, chopping me veggies and stuff. Oh, that's adorable. I like it. Fuck off.
Song. You weary?
Must stop that Nokin from singing.
Okay. I don't know which one of you is singing. Neither of you. Where's the singing thing? There it is. Woo! Nope, that's not it either. Where is it? Haha! Found you, you bastard. Lady, if you would like to do any attacks, that would be great. Thank you so much. There's another one?
Right side.
Fuck you. Where's the other one?
Behind you, Kratos.
I'm trying to look for the singing piece of... Oh.
On your right.
Fuck off. Ah, swish, swish, swing, swing, motherfucker! So no singing, guys. Well, only when I'm in the shower and nobody else can hear me. Or the dog. The dog doesn't seem to mind the singing.
You alright, brother?
No, I'm not. I'm not alright at all.
From behind, incoming.
Yes, thank you. God dang it. Or drunk. I have been known to sing in front of other people when intoxicated, because then I really don't give a shit. Generally speaking, though, I try not to.
What's it say, brother?
Words. It says words. Ooh. Can I reach it? Can I? Fuck. Oh, but I can if I do that.
Something hanging from that tree above us.
Yes, I can see that. Thank you.
Could be useful.
Really? Why else would it be there unless it was going to be useful? Why did they add this feature? Oh yeah, because I'm not going to reach that from there, am I? Okay, fair. Point made. Swing. Swing. Well, that's not going as expected. That's not going to make a difference, that though, because it's not lit.
There must be a way to transfer the fire from one side to the other.
You think? Want to enlighten me on that? Oh, wait. Nope. I was wrong. No. Oh, okay. I know what I'm doing. But okay, I'll try and reword that one to a more believable thing. I know what I'm meant to be doing now. But it won't reach. So. I'm a liar. Okay. Good talk. But it was all lit and everything.
Sigil arrows won't work on this.
No, but will it at least, like, hit there, maybe? No, too far. Nope. My goodness, lady, come on! I'm meant to be the rubbish one here. How else am I meant to put the fire across them? Now would be good for one of those times where you tell me how to do something instead of just... Ooh, shiny. Instead of just stating the little obvious, state the big obvious. Really? Well, no, because that's only going to light that side, so that's a stupid idea as well. Just going to do absolutely nothing. Evidently, really. Really? I am confused. I can't climb anywhere. Obviously I need that one lit, but... Three arrows in a row to the other side. I'm not following. I thought it might have something to do with this, but I don't think I can reach that from here. Just gonna check. Okay, I'm stupid. No, I'm not. See? Is that what you meant? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, I am very silly. Hang on. It's at least a little bit further forward. Nope. That's a nope. On the pendulum. Well, I thought that. Do you mean like doing that from there to there? Because I can see that's lit. But the problem is, I can't reach that with these. And then I was like, oh, maybe. Oh, now you fucking work, you piece of shit. Because I was like, maybe like this. And then like that, but no. I'm gonna sneaks back. Nope, too far. Okay, hang on. Nope. Motherfucker! Oh, wow, okay. Now I get what you mean. Do you remember how I said I was blonde? Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Sometimes the intelligence just doesn't
Looks like that worked.
happen. I'm sorry.
Well, that did it.
Well, jump. Finally! I mean... Common sense just isn't that common. How do I do them? That's what I want to know. It looks like you need Atreus's arrows, you know, the gold ones. Do you think? Maybe? 'Cause this doesn't seem to work. I feel like I need Atreus's arrows for those. Oh god. Where are you? Oh, there you Right, back to non-brain usey things. Yeah. I forgot about that motherfucker. Can I reach it from here though? That's the thing. Not quite. Ooh, that was close. Did that really just jump out of the way? That's rude. Yeah, okay, no. Oh, but I can... Right, okay. Hang on. Don't give up on me! You? Hello, buddy. Oh, you little bastard! Haha! There you go. Fuck you. Let's go. I mean, I suppose if you took a shot for every time I didn't get something, that would be a good way to do it as well. You'll have a very merry Sunday. I'm meant to be going this way. Literally back the way that I knew that. Clearly I knew that.
Freya, something your brother said. The ace here burned
I don't want to
him.
die of alcohol
Yes.
poisoning. Well,
We weren't yet at war, but
so be it.
relations with the Vanir and Aesir
If he
had
dies,
been
he
hostile
dies.
for ages.
No. I'd much
Freyr
rather
got it
people
into his
didn't
head
die of
that
alcohol
he could
poisoning. I will
improve
try
relations
not to
by
do
sharing
too
our
many of
magic
them.
with them.
Stupid
Vanir
whoopsies.
techniques for bountiful harvests.
I promise nothing, but
Enough
I'll
to feed
try.
their whole population. Getting
Oh wait, no. Freya's camp. Bellroom, landing.
on fire was the thanks he got.
That's true. The Aesir were too undisciplined.
Because that's still
and
set going through the
impatient
doorway,
for
isn't it? And
subtlety
she
of
wanted us to
Vanir's
do something
spellcraft.
further up the river.
So when things went wrong,
My bad.
blame their teacher.
Again.
So Freya was a guest when Odin burned him.
Not exactly. Odin didn't mind locking Freyr up. He saw the potential of the magic and wanted to know more than how to improve crop yields. And we'll just stop there for now.
Astrid's garden. The wilds reclaimed it. It was beautiful once.
Oh, that looks fun. Good doggy. Shit.
It's going to ram you!
No, it ain't. Excuse me? Oof. Jesus. Dude, you have no chill.
Enemy on the left!
Behind you, look out!
Oh dear. Friend of yours? Oh.
You're on fire, Kratos! It will
Fuck
fire.
off. Really? You're on fire, Kratos. I'm so glad you told me that. I would not have realised if it weren't for you explaining that to me. You absolute dick douche. Oh, you sneaky fuck.
Behind you, look out!
Yes, thank you. 1, 2, 3, whoosh. Oop, nope. Oop, nope.
This is the last.
What you ran away for? Let me tell you something. Oh. No. 1, 2, 3. Oh! Jesus.
The creatures weren't always this ravenous.
Who the
ecosystem?
Can I help
It's
you?
out of balance.
You just gonna ignore the fucker that's just popped out the body there? Are you? Okay. You do you, boo. Right. I'd like to not get poisoned. It's all the same to you. Good. Great. Fabulous. Can I... Oh. Oh, okay. That works.
Life returns to the garden. Good.
Yes, yes, hippie tree hugger business. Fabulous. Let's go. Ah. No, can't reach that from there.
All is
What
desolation. A fitting.
Aha!
No.
Nope. I'm gonna do
This
that.
garden still aches. There must be more poison somewhere.
Yes, yes, there is. Do not come to life. Where's the big butter? Ooh, okay, it's there. Nope. Nope. How am I gonna get that one then? Oh, she can shoot it. Maybe. Oh, 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 oh. Sorry. Didn't see you there. I feel like I'm missing a really obvious thing because that's just what I do. Right, if that's going up there, where's the mother bulb or whatever it's got? It's in there as well, isn't it? Bollocks. Okay, fine, fine, fine.
This mentions a spell that puts trolls to sleep, and a magic relic that acts as a sort of counter spell.
Very nice. Does it mention where to get it? No.
Nothing can grow from scorched soil. No hope can spring from burned roots.
I'd like to go talk with her.
Fine.
Spirit.
Freya, you return.
Astrid, what happened to you? To your garden?
The Einherjar. My life's work rotted. My monument to your glory reduced to this. I am sorry, my queen.
You need never apologize to me, old friend.
I swore to keep this garden in bloom until you return. To live forever amongst its putrescence. A just punishment.
I will return, Astrid. Kratos, we purge this garden of poison.
Astrid's a little bit dramatic.
Why?
The earth is a reflection of those who tend it. So long as the land is plagued, her soul will be as well.
Well, hang on, didn't I clear this poison? Oh, yes, it's just... okay. Well, that's the only one I've got left. And I don't know where the bulb
When
is.
my garden blooms, so will my soul.
There's a chest in there. Can I get up here? No. Well, let's go forward. Knock, knock. Room service.
An armor piece bearing Lunda's brand. Shame it's broken. Nice bit of work otherwise.
Then why leave it?
You suspicious of her, brother?
If the orb she seeks is important, she would not have left it behind.
Perhaps.
That's clearly going to wake up at some point and try and kill me.
We have to destroy the totems. They're poisoning Astrid's garden.
Yes, I know, but I can't figure... Oh. Okay. How do I hit that, though? don't know how to hit that one.
See that
Just want to
explosive?
look around a bit.
Setting it off could help.
Ah,
Yes, I know.
maybe you can hit it from a different angle.
It's kind of what I'm trying to look for. I can't see the angle, not gonna lie. Only thing I can think. I'm not going to get it from out here though. I know the axe will drop, but I don't think it'll drop enough. No, could have been wrong. No, not what I meant. Ellie.
We have no angle on it. We should climb. Find a better
Climb
vantage
where?
point.
I haven't spotted anywhere to climb. That's what I was trying to bloody well do. Why does this game hate me so much? Shut the fuck up. The one place I didn't look.
Can you see if there's a way inside while you're up there?
If you find this frustrating, imagine how much I find this frustrating. I'm the one that lives inside this stupid head.
Anything interesting, brother?
Alright, is there anything that I can shoot while I'm here, like a bird or myself? Or
Hi.
Hi. Right, go back up. Oh wait, no, don't need to climb that way. I can just do this. No, I can't, because that would have made sense. Climb back up. Axe. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's finished. Let's return to Astrid.
The land. It's alive again. I can feel it.
Yes, your garden grows again.
Freya, how did you?
It's okay, Astrid. It's time to move on.
Thank you, goddess. I do love you.
I like that. Yes,
I you.
everything's great. Fuck off.
You've done a great kindness.
A temporary one. The garden will die again.
All things do.
Jeez.
That is no reason not to try.
Okay. Oops. Hello. Aha.
This crest belonged to Odin. A peace offering from my people. And a waste of good work.
Just a bit. Oh! My bad. Him porting her around in a canoe just makes me think of him singing When the Moon Hits Your Eye. Funnily enough, yeah, I've had to stop myself from, like, thinking of different little tunes like that and just, oh no, they're always big bad bastards that kick the shit out of it. I mean, granted, everything kicks the shit out of us on here, but they're really mean. I was gonna start, like, doing a really bad rendition of, is it Bella Noche? Something off Lady and the Tramp. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. Okay. You're straight for the kill, huh? Oh, 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 oh! Help me, help me! Thank you. Oh my god. Yeah, I can understand your annoyance. She seems like a really nice elf lady. I sort of. I'm sorry, maybe. If you squint. Oh no! Oh no! I don't have another one! No! I told you they hit hard. Ha! Right. Maybe I should like use this instead. I didn't get me that time, motherfucker. Okay. Let's try again, shall we? Yes, got that, thank you. Oh! I know. I don't have another one. Oh, I do. Well, no, I know what I mean. Right. Oh man, I went to press the button. I feel like I need to go for the other one first. That was a better. I lasted longer that way. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay. You should try sucking less. Well, I can't do that, can I? It wouldn't be a Panda Pop stream if I did that. Let's. Whoa, Betty! Fucking buy us a drink first, you bitch.
Steady your guard!
Fuck off.
Behind you! Look out!
Wee. Haha. Yeah, hit her. Oh wow, what the fuck did I just do? Fuck you! Eat swamp water, motherfucker! Oh, that did not reset. That's not fair. Oh, it didn't. Good. 30 seconds to the next ad. Panda learned a new move. I did, but I don't know how I did it. Yay! One. Nope. Wrong one. 1, 2, 3. Yay! The chicken sounds though. What chicken sounds?
We revealed the inside of that building. Can you see anything valuable in it?
Right, ads are about to start. For anyone that gets ads.
The gate's open. We can head back and get inside.
As soon as it tells us the ads are starting, I will pause and we will then just natter. Because some people might want to not miss me getting absolutely beat to shit. Oh! If you like, I will go through the VOD and I will clip it. Hang on a minute. Ooh. I wasn't expecting this, huh? So how's everybody's Sunday going? Are we all having a good evening? Oh, you know how I was talking before about wanting to do custom walk-ons and stuff? Does anybody that is currently either a VIP or a mod have a preference on their walk-on? I'm thinking it's getting way past drinking time. That is fair. Because I know Mr. Maxwell would like Fluffy Boy. Oh, what was it? You picked on the wrong Fluffy Boy or something like that. I've never watched it, but it sounds quite funny. The Harm Assist is going to have Gollum. You don't have any friends. Because he doesn't. Obviously, Necro needs to have the... Just going to scoot right past you. Because well, it's that or one of his other clips that my channel seems to favour quite a bit. Might just do twinsies and a Valley Girl. I love it. Yes. Fabulous. But the other option I was thinking of Necro is one of his clips that keeps popping up on here where he's like, calls somebody daddy. I'm not going to mimic the clip because... No. But it's funny. And it'll be very funny if when he pops in stream, it just suddenly starts being like, you know, 2 steps away from a Pornhub sound. Quite funny. Entertaining. I would laugh. Don't know what to do for bearded. I think I might just have Shaggy saying Mr. Lover Lover for Yoasty because that'll be funny. I should give you an animation of Ace to go along with it. Ooh, that'd be cool. I don't know how to do that though. But that would be really cool. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. We will continue with my journey to death. Thank you for sticking around. Have you seen The Last Kingdom? I have. It would play the animation media file instead of the audio file. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. That doesn't seem too difficult. Well, it probably is, but it doesn't sound too difficult. Oh, where's this one going to take us? What does this button do? Lots of Viking one-liners for Bearded. This is true. This is true. It could have a lot of Viking one-liners. One of my thoughts was, because I can obviously record the audio from anything that's on the screen, so one of my thoughts was either his Twinkle Twinkle Little Star rendition that he has as a clip, or where he sang, you know, apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. I think it was along to the tune of, well, it was some Christmas song. It was very entertaining. And then of course there's Lol You Died. A classic. Ooh, strength and defense. I think that should go where fucking cooldown is, because yarp. Yes, I did just release cooldown. I'm like, what the fuck? No, it's fine. Oh! Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Feel free to chat if you like, or to lurk. Either is completely acceptable and appreciated, of course. Vitality or luck? I mean, the vitality's handy. The luck could be handy. Oh, high luck chance to grant a health burst. Okay, we may need that. I'm good, thank you. How are you? Successful hit with the serpent snare skill. Oh god, what's that? What's the serpent snare skill? Good, I am glad you're good. Are you a fan of God of War? Is that how you found our lovely little stream where I repeatedly get my arse kicked? I could use the vitality boost. It's fine. Okay. And we land. Back in the fucking building. I had a feeling this is where it was going to make us land. But there we are.
My God! Okay, it's happening.
Hello.
Stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay fucking calm.
Wait. Everybody, calm down.
Hello, bearded dad. How are you? 1 second. Hello. How's it going? Thank you very much for the raid. Hang on. I'll do the thing. Do the roar. Thank you. It is cute. I even gave it a background. I've just thought of an amazing walk-on. You know the clip where you turn around and you're like, I'm covered in white stuff and I'm sticky. I think that may be what I have as your walk-on. Look at that. Panda has alerts. Fucking necro. Yeah, and it changes depending on how many people join us. It goes up to 10 little pandas running across the screen. I think it's very cute. So how is the game? How'd it go? Yeah. So hang on, can I play it? 2 seconds. I'm going to try and do a thing. Bear with me. So if we click this button, and I click this button, do 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 do. Okay, so where are you? Rates. So we have
My God! Okay, it's
number
happening.
1.
Everybody stay calm.
So we have one little panda,
Stay calm. Wait.
and then it goes all the way up to
My God! Okay, it's happening.
10 pandas.
Stay calm. What's the procedure? Stay calm. Wait.
That is shown up for you guys, right? I'm not just like seeing that on my own screen and being all impressed with myself. Not that that would be surprising. Yeah, you showed up, thank God. Panda is here to teach you how to enjoy God of War for probably 8 hours longer than the game actually is. Only 8? Please. We all know that I would be able to make this game last at least 30 hours longer than it needs to, because I'll spend those 30 hours going, but what do I do? I mean, for God's sake, I even had Normed tell me what to do, and I was like, but I did that. I didn't fucking do it at all. Evidently. I like how you were trying to be nice and say 8 hours, though. Hi, Damaged, how are you? How's it going? Oh, I was just about to start playing the game again. The main thing is you know that about yourself. Oh, I own my flaws. I know them all. Well, I know a good amount of them. The problem is when you're aware of your toxic traits and you do nothing. Oh, I am very trying. Very. Right, I'll go back onto the game because I was just about to start playing that again and forgot that we're still on the chatting screen. So, ugh. And I'm glad you're good. I'm not too bad, thank you. In a bit of pain.
Seriously?
But, oh.
That is f***ing ridiculous.
Well.
I love you, random citizen.
Rude. But yes, Neon, I like to delude myself and think that my good attributes outweigh the bad ones. You never know. One day, after a lot of therapy, might be true. It sounds perfectly reasonable to me. I knew you'd understand. Good peeps. Neon is good peeps. I did give you a shouty. Because I remember the Astarian kind of like, oh yes, hold me closer. Stuff. It's like, oh, matron. I'm so glad I don't have a camera on right now because the face I felt myself pull there, terrible. Who could have done this? So, oh, I don't like them things. I remember them things. I don't like it. Ace, get ready with the button. I'm gonna die. For Frodo! Fuck you.
What's your right?
Oh, shit. It folds. I like to. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? I appreciate you, but what?
Just going to drop these and head off soon.
Thank you. I appreciate you very, very much. Stop it. Uh-oh. Thank you for popping in. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Come back. Come back here, you piece of shit eyeball. Sorry, I was very distracted. Thank you for the biddies. I appreciate you very, very much. I hope you have a really good night. and have a nice chilled one. And stop it. Because now you've done it. Guy's not here, is he? Guy? No buttons. Right. Swish, swish. Swing, swing. Ah, but buttons are fun. Buttons are fun for everybody else on everyone else's streams. Buttons is awesome. If you want to press some buttons, though, I put some new free sounds on the sound alerts thing. Like, you can tell me I'm really crap on there. I tried to show Ace before, but he's not used them. It's terrible, really. Notice I said the free ones, yeah? Free!
What utter foolishness. My soul cannot rest until they are at rest.
Gunhild.
Yes, very sad. Anyway.
Why?
See? God, I almost sound like Gollum there. See? We be nice to them if they're nice to us. Perfectly respectable noise to make when a random eyeball pops up out of nowhere. Just saying. Okay, so where are the letters? They're gonna be somewhere really fucking annoying, aren't they? Oh, they're not inside them things. Ooh, but boop. Yeah. Oh shit, wrong. Boop. Duh. Doop. It's not touching it, is it? Fuck. Right, now it is. I think. That went well. Nope, that did not go well. Neither did that. I just want to hit the flowers. I'm sorry, what? No. No. No, no, no. I refuse. There will be no spiders on the keyboards. Thank you very much. What is it you normally say to me? I just want a hug. Why is that being so mean? Oh, now you're not... Oh, here. Nope, right. Evidently, not gonna happen. Because I'm a tit. Okay. Oh, I need to do it somehow, though. This is when Nomad pops up and he goes, why don't you fucking do it this way? Pandy, hello. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate you greatly. That should have worked. Thank you. For nothing. God damn it. Why don't you get food? Food? There's food? Where's food? Right, is that touching that? That should be touching that, right? Yes. Right, so that's touching that. That should touch that. That should touch that. I make them go boom. Thank you. Oh my goodness. How do you guys tolerate watching this? Honestly, I drive myself insane. That doesn't say food. Oh. Maybe. I may be slightly peckish. Right, at least I've got one letter down. Fuck my life. There's gonna be one up there, isn't there? And why would I get good? If I got good, right, it'd be over for all you bitches. No. It wouldn't be as entertaining. I mean, you, for one, absolutely love watching me fail. Repeatedly. Ace too. Ace loves it too. And then, of course, there's the adorable emote. This is true. You do make even me look good. I mean, it's a skill, man. What can I say? You're welcome. Mm-hmm. Fuck you.
Looks like more of Lunda's old armor. Nearly have the complete set now.
Oh, look. Right, there's going to be some other angle I need to get at to chop that down. Ooh. Can I pet that dog? Nope. Can I pet that dog? Thank you. Yeah, you better go. How do I get there, I wonder? I nearly started singing in the Navy there for some reason. So okay, let's not go there. I know there's the thing to go down. Yeet. Oh. Yeah. Whee.
Now, how do we get up there, I wonder?
We can't. Not with those vines in the way.
Yes, yes. Fucking vines. Can I hit if it's there? Right, yeah. So then I want one there. Is that touching the vine? I hope that's touching the vine. Yay!
Looks like that worked.
Oh! Hello. Shit, I can't remember what letters are on the chest. Oh, that's fine. I know they're runes. Is that it? Nope. There we go. And if the other one's in there, I'm gonna be cry. Excuse me, coming through. Thank you. La 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 la. Punch. Ow. Ow. Not good. Ooh. That hurt a little bit. Anyway, moving on. Right, so I need to go back down so I can do the chain thing. Ta-la-la-la-la-la.
Such power corrupts.
Creepy bitch.
My poor friends need to be freed of it.
Gunhild needs my help.
Yes, well, Brunhild can wait.
So, what's it like, being back?
Like I haven't come back at all. Everything's changed. I'm a stranger here.
I know the feeling.
Okay, My Chemical Romance, if we can move it along. Thank you so much. Rainbows! Debbie? Debbie.
The runic word appeared over there. See it? Mecking. We should be able to reach the wedding site.
And for my next trick. Move. Thank you. Oh, well, then we'll talk to your dead friend.
What is wrong?
I died.
That fucking
And you will
knee
help
shit.
me.
Of course, Gunhild. But to what end?
When the Einherjar came, we needed a way to fight back. I suggested Seidr magic.
I understand your desperation, but that was foolish.
Clearly. I was lucky enough to be murdered before my mind could be corrupted, as theirs did. You must free them.
That's somewhat optimistic look, I suppose.
Seidr magic corrupts so ruthlessly. Those poor souls must be in agony.
Then we shall give them death.
Yes. Very, very, very sad. Where was the thing again? Here. Fucking now. It's gonna take longer than I thought. Skadoosh.
Ah, you found some of my armor. I'll fix it up for you real good. Would sure
There's a
appreciate you
panda
finding
on
the
my
world,
TV.
though. I am doing this
There
for
is?
free and whatnot.
Oh dear.
What you
Hello, my
need
lovely. How
now?
are you? Well, that was a bit rude of him, wasn't it? What you need now? Some armor, please. Ooh. Ooh, scoffing some dinner. What you having for dinner? Inquiring minds would wish to know. Right, so got that on. No, I need vitality more. I need to live. No. Shield.
And now for the goddess.
Ah, okay.
What's
right.
it gonna be? About time I
Oh, I
had
can sell
something to
things.
do. Family crests? I'll take them.
Nope. Nope. That. Why the fuck would I want to sell that? No, silly. Can I make one? Not while that's owned. Okay. I see no one has made any clips since I played Wild Rift. I've been playing other stuff, but no new clips. Oh, well. We'll have to work on that. That's unacceptable.
What's the Witch of the Woods need?
I don't know. It depends. Bacon double cheeseburger and 2 chili cheese. Ooh, very nice.
What are you looking for?
I've got some leftover curry in the fridge. That's it's calling my name. I agree. I agree. Eat all the foods. I'm at a stage of peckish where bearded dad told me to get good, and I thought he said get food. And I was like, oh, get food? Good idea. No, not what he said at all. Nope. Can I make that? No.
Wait, feels like there was something else.
Oh.
What'll it be?
What?
Let's make something then.
Oh, there's that wifey stuff. Oh, no. I must have to collect all of it for her to fix it, do you think? Nope, because it's right there. Stupid. I got a too good to go bag while working last night. Ooh, I've not heard of them. See, that is better, but I lose a good bit of vitality, and it's like, I don't think you appreciate how quickly I die. But strength and defense goes up. Oh, by like 1. Okay. Should we risk it? Chance to deal damage, bonus damage, and poison enemies. 4 demi-baguette filled with random stuff. All for 3. Wow! That's pretty damn good. How the fuck do I get it? Oh, I can craft this one. Okay. The cooldown gets reduced, but the luck's increased. Oh, cooldown is kind of handy though. That one's better. Okay, that one I can do.
A good fit.
Okay, good to know, my dude. I know it says you need 2 of them. Oh, hang on. Nope. Wrong. Damage increase goes to 40% if you're wearing 2 of them. Oh, but the cooldown disappears. I'll leave it like that for now. Cause
Hitting the road or chewing the fat?
perks of working in a train station. I mean, them some perks, to be fair, that is good.
Oh,
look at the fat
no,
puppy
I can't
cat
be
thing.
divulging
Cat?
guild business.
Pig puppy thing.
You gotta respect the secretude of it all.
It's so cute.
I'm sorry?
Let's just say Brock and I have long enjoyed certain common interests.
That's right. Like getting us into trouble.
And getting you back out of it again.
What? That's only mostly true.
Okay, so does that answer your question?
Close enough, I suppose.
Please don't ask him to elaborate. Okay. Ooh.
Good thing
We're
you
at the
learned the
3-hour
rules, brother.
marker. You know what that normally means? That normally will mean that we save and we raid. Because I've got a feeling this storyline's going to keep going for a little bit.
Find that orb yet?
Hang on, I'll at least go back to the place. Oh god, there's something for you to do in all of them, isn't there? That's where we want to go. Yep. That's where we want to go. Oh god, bright light.
Well, brother.
Ow!
Before you see the lad again, might we discuss an approach?
He will tell me where he has been. That is my approach.
Ah, classic
Subtle.
Spartan diplomacy.
Wait. Did you say Odin invited him to Asgard and then he disappeared for 2 days?
Aye, but surely the lad's got more sense than to...
Don't underestimate Odin's powers of persuasion. He filled my son's head with lies. Why wouldn't he do the same with yours?
Got a point. I feel like that was an understanding grunt. Remember?
that one-eyed nutsucker. He owes me one.
Thank me now and eternally.
Well, looky there. Glad you could make the trip, your goddessness. I put your sigil magic on the young turd's bow. But then he and Sindri got into it over something. I don't rightly know who's yelling at who in there.
Atreus.
Well, come on then. Hey, Tyr! Wake up! You got company. Now, why don't you just make yourself at home in Sindri's so-called study over yonder?
You're sure he won't mind?
Mind? He'll be.
I love this tree so much.
Joint's getting classier by the
Can it be?
It's beautiful. Oh, there he is. I
never
was
thought I'd
thinking,
have
how
the
does a
pleasure of
giant
seeing
man
you again,
disappear?
Don't call me that. I haven't been that person in a long time. But I'm happy to see you too. I'd feared the worst for so long. What you must have been through.
Nothing so bad as what you've suffered. Freya, I am so sorry to hear what happened to Baldur.
Oh, that's my cue.
He was only a boy when I saw him last, but I know he meant more to you than anything.
I'm gonna go lurk while I do some recording. Enjoy the rest of your
better
streams.
screw his head
Thank
back on.
you.
And I mean tightly.
I appreciate the lurk. I'm gonna do this little
So
bit
you're
cutscene,
back.
and
Are
then
you ready to
we're gonna
answer
raid out.
About what?
Where did you go? Who did you see? Was it Odin?
What? Is that what you think?
Do you deny it? Answer me! Did you go to Asgard?
No! Of course not! But so what if I did? It's my future, it's my life.
You are my son!
Then why don't you trust me?
If you want me to trust you, then
'Cause
tell
you're
me
a
the truth.
shit.
The truth is you're being a complete asshole.
Laddie, you know that's no way to change a man's mind.
Punch
He
him.
doesn't have any faith in me. It's fine if he keeps secrets. It's fine if Mom did.
That is not fine! Her secrets ought to be stuck with this path.
Oh, okay. So you don't believe in her anymore either?
This is not about your mother! What you have done is lie.
Wonder where I learned that.
That's quite enough.
Since when do you always take his side?
Since he became the one making sense.
Look, I was only thinking about going to Odin, but I swear it's for a good reason.
There is no good reason to go to Odin.
He'll only cloud your mind.
But I'd be going for us. I gotta stop something bad from happening.
Something bad did happen. Look at me, at Freya, at Tyr. Odin did this to us.
What's got everyone caterwauling all of a sudden?
Atreus wants to go to Asgard.
Asgard? Get kicked in the head or something?
Great. I guess everybody's against me now.
Yep.
You must choose who you are going to be. Are you going to continue to lie and keep things from me? Or are you my son?
Choose? I never get to choose. Just leave me alone.
Listen.
Let go of me!
Listen!
I said let go!
What the fuck?
It's Sindri. Just try to keep control!
Oh. I don't know if it's just me, but that kid annoys the living shit out of us. Oh, we do not have to be the little nutsack, do it? Oh no! This is a perfect time to raid out. Because this little pipsqueak does my fucking head in.
Great.
My thoughts exactly. Well, we're gonna save and raid out. Fuck this kid. He's an absolute little shit. Honestly. Do you know how I said I was out at the shopping centre the other day and there was a bunch of teenagers and they all made you want to, like, commit a crime and just punch them, basically. They were pretty much all like him. Except real stupid. So let's see who's available to raid, shall we? He needs to be strung up. He just needs a good freaking slap. Let's have a look. Who do we have? Who can we say hi to? Ooh, Harold's on. I think we should go and see Harold. So we's gonna do a diss. Oh, of course it's not going to play his clip, because why would it do that? That would be nice. Heaven forbid. So there are our raid messages. I just need to click that. And click that. Okay, you beautiful bastards. Thank you very, very much for being here with me tonight, as always. Thank you for tolerating my, we'll say lack of common sense, because that seems like a nice way of putting it. But thank you for tolerating that. We will be back on Thursday with Crash Bandicoot, so more death. And until then, I will see you in and around. That sounded weird. Don't take that out of context. Am I going to get a new person to view now? We're going to go see Harold the Hatter. He's amazing. Harold is such a lovely, lovely person. Like, he should be sainted. He's such a nice person. But we're going to go see Harold. And we're going to say hi and all that jazz. But I will see you in chats of other streamers and, you know, be all like, you're awesome. I'm just waffling now. My brain's turned to absolute mush. I know I hide it really well. So yeah, I shall see you guys on Thursday. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. Goodbye.